Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and we're back out here in the garage for another Garage Gun Talk. And I want to talk about an experience I had today at a gun shop because I had the opportunity, because I had to go pick up, I mentioned this in last night's video, some scope rings for this optic I'm supposed to review, and it's a 34 millimeter tube. And I don't have any extra scope rings, especially that are 34 millimeters, and they didn't give me any in the box. So I went down to the local big box store, Cabela's, and picked up some scope rings. And I didn't want to spend too much. Obviously, when it comes to rings, you can, just shoot for the moon and go super high and expensive. But this is just like a Chinese made, probably a pretty decent optic, but I wasn't going to break the bank on them. So I think I picked these up for like under $40. So this review is already costing me money. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to recoup that. Typically these product reviews do not recoup that type of ad revenue. But anyway, while I was there, I was kind of browsing through the firearm selections and so forth. And I was curious because I'm sure some of you guys have this as well, where you have some credit card you use and then you get all the points and all that. I have had a Cabela's card for I don't know how many years, just so many years, and I never use the points for anything, and they never expire. So I was like, I wonder how much I have. So I went on my app and I was like, maybe I can pick up something, which I bought these on those points. So I didn't spend any money on these. I just used my own points. But I was like, I wonder how much I have. I have like $1,000 in points. So I was like, you know what? I got $1,000 here. I can only use it here at Cabela's or I guess Bass Pro or whatever. So I'm going to go look at the guns and maybe I'll pick up something that I, have been wanting, or something that's new out on the market, or something that I could, review on the channel. And so I started going through the guns. And, they're not necessarily what we would call a high-end collector's place. It's not like they have, B&Ts, Noveskis, any kind of stuff like that. And I have to tell you guys, okay, and I'm going to sound like a complete gun snob here, but there are two types of guns now that pique my interests. And it has to do with old collectibles, like I recently reviewed a Walther P5 and some other just kind of cool older firearms that, of course, you can't get anymore. And then I'm partial, possibly, to the amazing friends that I have that lend guns to the channel, some of the higher end stuff. So if anything is going to be added to my collection, it's going to be one of those two things. Either something that's really cool, old, and rare, or it's going to be something that's going to be on the higher end of the price point. And those middle range guns, unless it's something really special that fills a void in my collection, like I have to have this to complete, whatever it is, it doesn't necessarily, make me go, ooh, I have to have it. So I become very indecisive. And I was going through all the stuff, the Smith & Wessons, the SIGs, the Glocks, pretty much the typical stuff. And nothing in there really spoke to me. CZs, nothing. Actually, most of the stuff in there that would interest me, I already have. So I was like, well, what am I going to do with these points? So I didn't get anything. It was kind of weird. And also, if I was like, well, if I have to, I could have forced it. There was a couple things there. I could have gone, okay, I'll pick that up. But I don't think I would have brought it home and been, had that new gun experience, where you kind of open the box and you look at it and you handle it and all that. I'd be like, it is what it is. So I don't know. Maybe I'm going to go over to Bass Pro on the other side of town and see what they have, because I got to use these points for something. It's not like I can transfer them to restaurants or anything. It could just be used at that store. So I don't know. I'll have to figure out what I want. And I did look for a couple things, okay? I'm going to tell you what I actually looked for. The first one's going to surprise you. I was looking for a Springfield Echelon. Now, I reviewed one of those. You guys know I'm not a huge Springfield fan, but I loved the Echelon. And I was also interested in maybe finding that new Ruger what is it? The one they did with Magpul. I think it's what it is. Yeah. You guys know the pistol that I'm talking about. I think Magpul made the frame on it. I was kind of like, hey, if I could pick up one of those, okay, that's actually kind of interesting. That would make some great content for my channel. But they didn't have either of those in stock. So I kind of walked away, I don't know, kind of indifferent, I guess. So if you guys have any ideas for maybe what I should use my points on, and I'm not looking to spend more than what the points are. I'm looking for just spend the points, okay? I mean, obviously, I could have gotten like an HK Mark, 23 or something, but wasn't interested in that because I would, that's like a $2,000 a pistol, and I already have one. But it would be nice to have one that I could shoot because the one I have is a collector. It's a first-year production, never fired in the camo case, which is like super ultra rare. But I didn't see anything there that I really, really wanted. There was actually one of those new CZ Shadow 2 compacts that looked kind of cool. There was, I guess there was a Ruger 2245, or was it 45? Yeah, it's 2245. That was kind of speaking to me a little bit. And what else? Oh, there was one thing, okay? And it would have cost me a little bit more money. Okay, I would have to use all my points and a few $100. But it's the new Ruger Mini 14 with the folding stock. I guess it's the one that's kind of a tribute to the old A-Team one from like the 1980s. And I think that gun looks really, really cool. But I was like, I don't want to spend that money. Plus it'd be another 5.56 rifle. And I just don't have the infrastructure for another type. Like, for example, I have so many PMags, AR-15s, I'm kind of stuck in that, and if I was going to get a Ruger Mini 14, now I have to buy all new types of mags and all that kind of stuff. But it did look cool. I did handle it. I was a little bit disappointed on the quality. I'm not saying the gun would be bad, but the way the stock folded and it felt a little bit on the cheap side. But I may go back and take a look at it. I don't know. Anyway, give me some ideas because I was thinking I wanted to pick up something that's interesting for the channel that I could review. And that's really kind of the perspective that I was looking at because I hate to say it, I pretty much got everything else in the world I really, really want. Like, my list is so short for me to pick up. It has to be something that I'm going to see in the moment and go, I absolutely have to have that right now. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, man, there's a plane flying over real low. I got my garage door open. I'm sure you guys can hear the whine of that jet engine. My house is kind of on approach to the Addison Executive Airport, so sometimes we get those low-flying executive planes. But anyway, while I'm out here, if you guys want to join me, we're going to see if these are going to work, because actually I'm a little bit nervous they're not. So I did find some that were 34 millimeter, but these are only medium height. I wanted to get the tall ones because I think when I looked at this scope the last time, the objective lens is pretty big. So I was hoping the medium would clear, but they didn't have any of these with the high. I guess the high versions of them, the higher height. So anyway, so I thought I'd get this out. And we're going to see if this is going to work. Otherwise, I have to go a different direction. And I'm trying to do this where I can put all this back in the box and make it look like I'm unboxing it on camera. Because I do want to show what comes in the box when I make that review. So, once again, here is that scope. Man, that objective lens is big. I sure hope it's high enough. I think it is. I think it's going to be, because once I open this thing, there's no returning it. So let's actually do that, and let's actually see if these rings are going to work. And I'm hoping it's high enough where it's going to be comfortable. Get a knife, and I guess we'll get a rifle out here. Here we go. I gotta try this thing on to make sure it clears. So, all right. And before I always work on guns, I always take off my watches. And I'm always worried I'm going to scratch these. And in case you're a watch person, I know a few of you guys are. You're going to ask, what watch am I wearing? It is the Rolex Green Submariner. It's the, what some people call, the older version was called the Starbucks. This one, some people call the Cermet, because there was the aluminum one called the Kermit, which is the lighter green. But this has the ceramic bezel on it. It's 2023. So, yeah. So I don't want to damage that. So let me put this over here. Hold on one second. All right. So let's work with this. And let's see if these rings are going to be what I need. Man, I hate these packages. Man, I hate these packages. They're just scope rings. No one's going to break them open, man. Just make a package you can open without cutting yourself and hurting yourself. Why does the plastic have to be so freaking thick? All right. All right, we got the hardware here in the back. Man. All right. See, once you open this, you're not returning it. Throw that away. Okay. Man, this is boring content. By the way, I want to thank you all for your responses about the videos that I've been wanting to make. You guys seem to be pretty keen on me making some top 5 videos, so I'll definitely do that. The other thing I was talking about when it came to the NRA and my thoughts on the NRA, so many of you were like, you know, I don't care about them anymore. And that's fair enough. And that just goes to show how far they fell. I don't know. I still find it interesting how I have been around the gun world for long enough now that I have seen the trends and the fads come and go. And I don't know. I guess the formidable years of when I was first getting into guns was so important to me that as the culture has changed and things have changed, it's just weird to think they're not the way they used to be. And I'm sure some of you all probably feel exactly the same way about other things if you know you've been in this for longer than I have. All right, so let's just hope. Once again, these are going to work. They may or may not. I just want to make sure that the bottom of the scope is not going to hit on the rail. Okay, so these are supposed to fit Weaver and Picatinny rail. These are not like the best scope rings in the entire world. No, I guess I should probably mount those different. Yeah, this is going to be some boring content tonight. Oh, by the way, some of you have asked me why I don't do more live streams. And the reason I don't do more live streams is because my internet here absolutely sucks. I do not have fiber optic here. For some reason, AT&T decided not to put it in on my street. So I am stuck with I guess the old broadband, whatever, and every time I try to live stream, especially from my computer, it kind of phases out a little bit, like it stutters, and it's all because of the speed. And then, you know, the YouTube control panel or whatever tells me constantly I don't have enough bandwidth. So it's not worthy of me trying to live stream right now until we get better internet. And trust me, I have tried. And I may try some more over the summer, but that is the answer to the question. I would love to live stream more, and I know a lot of you guys are really interested in that. I may try on Rumble. I don't know. Rumble likes the live stream stuff. So, Anyway, try to think if there was any other questions you guys had for me that I could answer. I also wish you guys would tell me what you guys want me to make when it comes to videos. You guys didn't really have any questions. You guys weren't saying, "Hey, tell me what you think about this or that." It was all positive. It was all, "Hey, I like the top 5 concept. Do that a little bit more." I believe Craig, I think it was Craig, said it's a little bit overplayed on other channels, but he'd be okay with it. All right, guys. I am sorry, but remember, you don't tune into the Texas Gun Vault because I'm exciting. I've also noticed on this channel as of late, I'm not getting as many views as I used to. And maybe it's because people finally wised up and realized I'm boring, but I am kind of surprised that I'm not getting more views. Even like my basic videos got enough that I would, reach, I don't know, a couple hundred views in the first couple hours. Now it takes a couple of days, and I'm starting to wonder if YouTube is shadow banning me on this channel specifically. I don't know. All right, here it is, the moment of truth. Please say these will work. Damn it. It's not going to work. I'm going to have to get a riser for it, I guess. Well, crap. Yeah, I went to get a riser. Oh, it clears the back. No. Not tall enough. Damn it. Now I gotta do something else. Which means I gotta track more crap down. Yep. It's resting on the rail. Ah, jeez. Well, I'm frustrated now. So now I got to go figure out what to do here. So I guess I'm going to have to go buy a riser. Crap. Well, now I have my answer. So I was hoping these would be tall enough, but they're not. So I don't even think the tall ones would be tall enough, to be honest with you, because I need a lot more room. So I guess I'll be making another stop at a shop tomorrow to buy some riser, or like a Picatinny rail riser, just to give me that extra clearance. It's my only option. So yeah. All right, so you guys got to witness this and witness me getting frustrated and disappointed. So there you go. So that's what this channel is all about: frustration and disappointment, huh? Whether you're watching my stuff and realize, oh my gosh, he's a bad shot and he's a terrible presenter, or it's me getting frustrated at myself because I don't have the right stuff. Dang it! Man, I'm upset about this. Okay, not like super upset. It just means I have to go make another trip. So anyway, let me go look online for what I'm going to need so I can make a mental list to go get it tomorrow. And if you guys mount a bunch of scopes, what do you guys recommend? So, yeah. I already got these rings. I don't want to go buy more rings. So I'm just assuming the riser is going to work. Anyway, so I guess that's all I got for you tonight. So the word of the day is going to be disappointed. Disappointed because I was not able to mount this scope like I was hoping I would. Dang it, I gotta go get more stuff. So anyway, thanks for joining me here in the garage. Thanks for listening to my ranty videos. I always enjoy engaging with you and hearing what you have to say. So tell me what you think about anything in this video. And as always, thanks for watching. And surprise, I'm back. There's an addendum to this video. As soon as I turned the video off for the last video, I realized I had a riser from a previous scope review that I did because they included it with their scope. And so I went and got it, and I am going to be able to make this work. So I don't have to run to the store tomorrow. However, it is mounted now a little bit too high, but I can make it work. And just looking through the scope, it does have some unforgiving eye relief. Even on the lowest magnification, you have to have the perfect distance from the eyepiece to your eye to be able to see through it. And yeah, I'm not a big fan. I have to have very forgiving eye relief. But we'll have to see how this thing works when I take it to the range. But anyway, I was able to get it to work. And yeah, so anyway, I just thought I would share that with you because, as I said, as soon as I turned off that video, I was like, you know what? I think I have one. And I found it. So there you go. Now it's the end of the video. So, as always, thanks for watching.